Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and how many of you have old hanging file folders laying around? I've got a blue million of them. These are the older ones, and they're a little bit thinner than the new ones, but we're going to make a folio out of 2 of these. You probably need to use 3 because we're going to make some little booklets and things like that. I had a request for a folio, and I got to thinking, what did I have around here besides chipboard that I could use to make a folio? And these come to mind that I had stored away in a box over there, so I thought, why not use them for this? So all I did on these, grab this one, I cut it down to 8 inches. So I cut away that part that has that metal piece in it. So if you just leave them folded and cut them down to 8 inches, and then they're 11, mine are 11 3/4, but you know, yours may be different. You can just leave them whatever length they are if you want to. So I've got 2 of them that are cut at 8 by 11 3/4. Now, tomorrow we are going to start on this. Today I want to make some of the little booklets and things to go inside them. It's getting a little bit later on in the day. We've been trying to work outside a little bit, and I've been dyeing some papers. You can see my fingers since the sun is out. I dyed some papers and put them out to dry. So I've been working on that most of the morning and some orders that we had, so I haven't had time to really dig into this. And I've not made one like this before, so I'm just kind of jotting down some ideas that I have in my mind. But I do want to make 2 little booklets to go on the inside. I know that. So this one, I just took one of the file folders and I cut it down. With it folded, it's cut at 5 by 7 3/4. And then this one's going to be a top fold like this. So I used just the other part of that, and I think I left it the length. Let's see. Well, put it this way. Yes, it's 8 inches by 4. So it's 4 by 8. And that's going to be our little top fold. Now you can see on the file folders, you've got all of these score lines on here. I'm going to leave mine probably just as is and not use any of the little score lines because I don't want this booklet to be real thick. I'm going to put some papers on the inside there, some of the papers that I'm letting dry right now, but I'm not going to use any of those folds. But if you wanted to have a thick little book, you could use some of those folds to make you a spine with, and you would already have your spine made right there. So I want to cover these with some paper, and I'm going to start out with this one. Now, the paper that we're going to use to make the folio is going to be this Prima, and it is Misty Rose, and this I've got about this much of it left, and that'll be enough to do our little folio. So we're going to use that to do our folio with tomorrow. But today, what I am going to use, and you can see these match up really pretty. I printed this off. This is a Shabby Dabby Doodah vintage paper, and it's called Edwardian, and I will link that below. So I printed this off today. I thought that was so pretty, and it matched up with that really well. Now I cut this one a little bit short. It's actually longer than that, but I cut it a little bit short. So I'm gonna grab another, and I'm probably just gonna use pieces of them. I'm probably not gonna use the whole thing. And I kind of like that green in the background on that too. That doesn't bother me at all because this has that green in it. So that looks pretty good to me. Let's see if we fold this around, if it works, if it's going to be big enough. Fold it right there. Yeah, I think it's going to be just big enough if we fold that around. So that could be our front, and that would be our back. But I really want that to be the front. So I probably am going to cut that off. I'm probably going to cut it in the center and let this be the front and that be the back, because I like that part. I like the people on there. But I just think that is so pretty, and it goes so well with that Prima collection. So, and this one I think has 11 different pages in it, I believe is what I saw. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave some of that green showing. So I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not going to try to be too accurate. And I'm just going to mark right there. And that's where I want to tear that piece. And I'm just going to tear mine. You can certainly cut it if you want to. My cutter just doesn't like to cut this thin paper. This is just a kind of a thick copy paper is all it is. Let's see. Let's make sure we get that as straight as we can. And yeah, I use my Tim Holtz ruler to tear that with. That's fine. I like that little torn edge there. I'm going to clip off just the little bits that are hanging out there a little bit. And then my other sides are already torn, so I'm going to leave them just like they are, I think. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. On this side right here, I am going to, where's my little tool? I have a tool around here that I can rough the edges up with, but I don't know where it is right now, so we're just going to take this pair of scissors and I'm going to rough the edges up, make it look more like the other side. And these are just my little fussy cutting scissors. And if you let them go right on the tip like that, then it will just rough that up just enough that it looks like that you've torn it. But I don't want to tear any more off, so I'm just going to do this. See there? Let's see if you can see that. There we go. And then we're going to do this at the top. I've got one of those Tim Holtz things around here somewhere, but right now I don't know where it might be, so we're just going to use this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at this and make sure it's pretty much even. It's close. It's close. I got this top a little bit. Okay, there we go. We've got that. Now what I want to do is, I want to tear a couple of little places in this. So I'm just going to take my good old tools here, my finger tools. And I'm just going to tear a little hole right there. Tear that piece away. Alright, and then I am going to take my little trusty skewer and I'm going to roll this one up a little bit, like that. Okay, now I'm going to put a piece of book page here, and I'm going to put a piece of lace up here, but I do want another place torn, and I think I'm going to tear one right here, and I'm just going to kind of tear it straight, not as straight, but just, I'm not going to take a chunk out like I did there. And that's the bottom of that lady's dress. So what I'm going to do is fold this over like this, roll it up, and then I'm going to roll this side up just a tiny bit. Then I'm going to put a nice piece of lace right there, and that will kind of make it look like that is the bottom of her dress, or maybe her slip hanging out or something like that. I am going to ink mine up a little bit. Here again, this is strictly up to you. You don't have to do this. I just like the looks of it. I like the antique type look, so. Now, if you find that your paper is not rolling like you want it to, you can wet it just a tiny bit, and it will roll up and stay that way. When it dries, it will be hardened that way, and it will not come unrolled. Mine it's doing pretty good, so I'm probably not going to wet it, but that's what you can do. Just spritz it a little bit, roll it up, and you've got it made. Okay, so there is that. Now I'm just going to grab a piece of book page. And I'm just going to grab a piece of this old book page here. And let's see. Put that in there like that. I'm just going to ink one side, and that's this side that's going to show. Okay. Then I'm going to grab a piece of lace and put here and here. I think I'll use a little piece of this. I think it's Venetian lace. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, because you know I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to use a piece of this lace at the bottom. And I think this is called Venetian lace. And then I'm going to put this one up here at the top. So we're going to insert that one under there. And I'm just going to kind of let mine hang out just a little bit. Like that. I think that's pretty. And then we'll put this one up here to just kind of be seen right there. And I just want to turn it to where it'll kind of hang off both sides of my paper. Or both sides of my little album. Alright, so I think we can glue those down. Grab my glue. I have got to refill my glue. And I'll probably have to put another glue under this. This is just art glitter glue, and it doesn't really like to hold the laces and things as well. So I'll probably put some of my 3-in-1 under that. Now I'm not going to worry too much about every little piece being glued down, because when I glue my paper down, it's going to be fine. There we go. So let's glue our paper on. I like to make my little booklets and inserts and things like that before I make the actual project. That way I can just insert them when I get things start coming together. And I also know exactly what sizes to make my pockets. And you can also put just a tiny bit of glue under that little roll if you want to do that. If you want to make it stay exactly in place, you can do that too. I think that'll work for me. I like that. I like that lace hanging down there. This one I may trim a little bit. The looks of it I don't particularly like. So let's trim it off just a little. And then that little piece of lace that I trimmed off, I just stacked it back on top to make it look a little bit thicker, because that's kind of a thin lace there. Okay, so there is that part of our front cover. I like that. I do think I want something else on here, so let's see what we can come up with. We're going to drag our ephemera booklet out, and if you haven't seen the video on how we make this, I'll leave that link below. You can go check it out. I'm just going to drag out a couple of things. I don't know how many I'm going to use, but we're just going to pull out a few pieces. Let's see. I think I want a label. And I'm just going to cut this one that says memories. These are Shabby Dabby Doodah labels. That's hard for me to say when I'm trying to say it fast. And So I'm going to lay that out. I'm going to lay a piece of vellum out, and I may want a number. Let's see if we want a number. Let's just take this number 9 out. We may not use it, but we'll take it out. And I may want a little Tim Holtz butterfly here. Okay, let's see how that goes. And of course, I've always got these little flowers that I fall back on from time to time. So we may use some of those. I don't want a lot of dimension to this top because I am going to be sliding it in a pocket. But I just feel like I want a little bit of something else on here. If nothing else, maybe down here at the bottom, because I don't want to cover my people up. I don't want to cover the roses up. So we may just put a little something there. And this is actually a little book plate, but I'm just trimming it out to be just a label. I'm going to take a little bit of that white off of that because that's a little bit bright for me for this piece anyway. Okay, I apologize. I started doing some faux stitching and I realized that I wasn't back on camera again. So we're using our little pen, gel pen, and I'm just doing some faux stitching on here. You can stitch it for real if you want to with your sewing machine. I'm just going to do just a few little stitches, kind of make it look like it's been stitched. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of go down through there and put you some stitches on. When somebody is looking at it from a distance, they're not going to know the difference in this and real stitching. Alright, there we go with that. And then I am going to put this little piece of vellum down, and I'm putting it right here in the corner. And then I'm going to put this little tag that just says memories, and it's in that elegant font, because to me they look like they're all dressed to go to some kind of party or, you know, dinner party or movie or something like that. People used to really dress up years ago. Nobody dresses up much anymore, but years ago that was the thing. You dressed up when you was going to go out. And then I'm going to just stick that little flower right there in the corner. And then up here at the top, again, I'm going to use just a little piece of vellum. Trying to see which side I inked on. I'm just going to lay it right there. And then I'm just going to put this number 9 because maybe they're at the cinema. And they had to get in line. Doesn't look like they're waiting in line, does it? Oh, me. Wouldn't you like to know what goes through some people's minds in some of these photos? What was happening then? And it's just amazing to me. I love seeing old photos and just kind of imagining what they were doing and, you know, what was on their minds at that time, that kind of thing. It's interesting. All right, so we've got that. That's the front done. So that is finished. Now I want to do a little bit on the inside. And I'm thinking on the inside I may just use some book pages and I may collage a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. Let's check another piece of that paper and see what we've got here. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. I wonder if that would work. I think it will. Look at there. That goes all the way across, and that is really pretty. We've got another one we want to use. I don't know, I may just use this tea-dyed one on the inside. Since my papers that's going to go on the inside is going to be tea-dyed. I may just do that and use that one for something else. So we're just going to need to trim this off just a tiny bit. I'm just going to use my ruler and tear it just a little bit out here at the end. Not much. Oh yeah, that works. Exactly. Just going to trim this little piece off that I had going there. And this has already got the torn edges, so I'm not going to run my scissors around it, but that's up to you if you want to do that. I don't know if this is tea dyed or coffee dyed, but it's pretty, whatever it is. All right, we're going to glue this down, and I'm just going to use my art glitter glue. It doesn't seem to show through this paper. This is 110 GSM copy paper, and it doesn't show through here that I can tell anyway. So that's what we're going to use. Now I'm going to put quite a bit on here because I want it to glue down well and not have bubbles in it. And I'm not worried that I'm pressing anything down on the front because it can press down. It'll be fine. I did tear a little piece there that stuck to my tissue, but that's okay too. Okay, so there is the inside. We're going to go ahead and fold it up like that. And then we can add some other things on there if we want. I think I'm just going to do a little pocket on the inside, and I'm just going to make it out of a book page. And we'll put it down on the inside here. And I'm just going to cut up the sides, cut some of that off, that white off. Okay, we're going to glue this together and then cut a little pull at the top. And I did fold the tops over just so it'd be a little bit stronger. So I'm just going to glue all of this together. Alright, we'll grab our punch and just kind of punch a little thumb hole in there. Or a little pull. Whatever anybody wants to call those. I know you guys told me what they're called 2 or 3 times, but for the life of me, I still don't remember. I just call them a little hole. I think they're a thumb pull or something like that. There we go. So then we'll put that pocket down right there. So let's go ahead and glue it down. Just going to put glue right on the edges. Then we'll cover my boo-boo up there and have us a nice pocket. There we go. Then we definitely want to put something on the pocket, of course. So I'm going to grab my ephemera book out again. And I think I actually want to put a flower on there, but I'd like to have one that's a little bit small. These are from the Graphics Fairy. That's cute. I like that. And it's got little birds on it. No, I like the darkness of this when it goes with the background. So we're going to use that one on there. Okay, we're going to put this down on here, and I think I'm going to only glue it on the sides and the bottom. And then I'm going to use it as another little pocket too. There we go. And then I have these little tea cards, and I will link the person below that I purchased these from. I want to say it was Tracy Fox, but I'm not sure. I will link below. It may be Kelly Crafts because I have purchased some from both. So I'll link the right one. but they're just little tea cards like people used to get in their little tea packets years ago. There we go. And then we can put a tag down in there, and we will make a tag for it. Let's see if this is going to work. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use this other piece of the file folder to make the tag. And we'll stick it down in there, and I think we'll cut it off about right there. Yes, that'll work. And then we're just going to, well, I'm going to cover it, and then I'll cut it in a tag shape. So we may cover it with the other side of this paper. See what that would look like. Oh yeah, I like that. So I think we might just glue that down on there. And this will make a nice thick tag. And this is just part of that old file folder. And if you've had any kind of an office, like I have had for many, many years, you've got these old tags laying around, these old file folders laying around. If you haven't thrown them out, I hardly ever throw anything out, believe me. My husband doesn't like it, but if I think I can use it, I don't throw it away. Right. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. Now I'm going to cut it into a tag shape, I think. Or maybe I'll just round the corners. I might just round the corners. Let's do that. I think we'll just round all four corners. I just vacuumed my floor this morning, and now I'm tossing things back down in it. And now I just need a little pull at the top. And let's see what a little vellum pull will look like. I haven't tried one of those before. Well, I kind of like that. A little vellum pull. That's cute. So there is a tag. And you could go ahead and do more decorating and things to your tag if you wanted to. That's got so much collaging on there that I really like that I don't think I want to do anything more to it. So I'm going to just use that. Then we can put our pages in here, and what do we want to do? I'm not going to do a lot to the back part, I don't think. Let's see what we might do. Did I just do that upside down? I certainly did. Did you just watch me do that upside down and you didn't say anything to me? Ugh. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to trim this little piece of vellum off right here. I'm going to ink that little spot. Nobody's going to know the difference. Oh, we got to cover the back too. I just happened to notice the writing on this, and I thought, oh man, I did that upside down. I should wear my glasses when I craft, but I hate to. They slide down on my nose. So what are you guys doing today? What's everybody up to? Are you crafting? Are you working? Are you back at work? Let me know in the comments below what you're up to. Are you okay? Is anybody sick at your place? We're all doing well. There we go. And that little piece of vellum says May Day on there. That's cute. And 31st. All right, let's cover the back of this just with a piece of book page. And as I've said, if you want to journal on this, you can still journal on that book page. You can write right across it. Now there we go. We've got that corrected. Now, what I had thought about doing is doing a little side tuck on this one, and just using this piece as a little side tuck. So I think I'll go ahead and trim this off. Okay, then we need something to back this on to make it a little bit thicker. And I have this other piece here. I think I'm going to trim this side off where it's a little bit more even. Well, I don't know. You've seen my cutting. It may not be a little bit more even. It may be more uneven. Okay, I think we're going to cover that right there. And let's see. Oh, that's just the right size. How did we do that? That was sheer accident, I can promise you. And then I'm just going to put a little bitty pull in this. I know normally side tucks don't have one, but we're going to put a little tiny one there. Well, that paper slipped, and I like to cut a big one instead of a tiny one. Then we're going to ink it. Okay, then we're going to glue this down right here, just at the top and the side and the back. Cute, cute. And now I just want to do a little bit of something right there on the bottom. So I'm just going to cut this little butterfly out. This is from the paper collection. And I'm just going to rough cut it. I'm not going to take a lot of time. Okay, there we go. Got him cut out. I'm just going to put him, and you know I have to put something under him. All else fails, grab a piece of book page. You guys do not know how much getting these book pages from you means to me, because I had been wanting some, and there's no place around our location that you can find any. We don't have any antique stores. None of our little Goodwills, things like that, have old books. I don't know if they just keep all of them or somebody just confiscates them as soon as somebody brings them in or what. But we can never find any there. So I really, really appreciate you guys giving me these. It means a whole lot to me. Now I am going to put a little flat piece of bling down there. I just want something flat. We've got these little tiny pearls that I keep cutting up because if you can't get this whole thing off of here because I've had them for so many years in my stash. So I cut the little pearls off and I use those. Oh, my finger stuck to it. Usually they'll come off all together, but these are going to be stubborn and come off one at a time, and that's fine. That's our little butterfly and the pearls. There's our little side tuck. There's that one. I think it needs something right there, don't you? What shall we put there? Look and see what Tim Holtz might have in his collection over here. We could put that little label on there. And then, I don't know what we would put in it, but we can put that little label on there. Might come back later and put something in there. I've got some little tiny stamps that I might find something to stamp on the inside there. Now, I like that better. Okay, now we're ready to, well no, we got to cover the back and then we're ready to put our little pages in. So I like that. Let's just put that one on the back. Let's do that. So where's our ruler? Okay, we'll glue this piece down and then add our book pages to it. I started to say, no, I put it on upside down again. I gotta wear my glasses from now on. That's cute, I like that. Like, we could always write something on there. You could make one of these, send to a friend and write created by. Okay, let's grab our pages and I'll show you my tea-dyed pages that I did today. And I say tea-dyed, but they're not all tea-dyed. Some of them are. This is a blueberry dyeing. And this one I did with, yes, some mica, gold mica, and then some inks and some water. That's what I did that one with. And then these are some of the same. And I just kind of left them down in my little pan. And if they soaked up other colors, that was okay, but with me, that one is another blueberry, I think. Let's see, is that blueberry? Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. I have all my sprays and I just grab them up and start spraying. And that's the shimmer there, the gold. And I just got a bunch of different ones. That's like a little, out of a little notebook. That's out of a little notebook. And then that's out of a big notebook. And then there's some book pages, and I just let the bottom of them soak up whatever was left in there. That doesn't bother me. And these are pretty much dry. There's a couple of them that's still a little bit damp, but the thicker ones, but they're dry enough for me. And you can always iron them dry if you want to. Okay, we don't need anything very tall or very wide. So this one is probably going to be just right to have that size. Yeah, that's going to work. And then this one might work. We might have to trim it off. No, that's actually going to work. This one we'll definitely have to trim. Let's see, which way we want to fold it. Fold it. That maybe? Okay, so I'm going to get all my book pages ready, and then we will come back and insert those, and we will be finished with our little booklet. And then in the morning, we'll start on our folio. So this is going to be our little pages that we're going to put in there, and I have just rough cut things on the end. I just tore some of them and different things like that. I didn't want them all to be the same. I wanted them to be kind of rough, so that's what I did on those. Some of them I made pockets out of. I'm just trying to go through and put some of the smaller ones in between the larger ones. And then I'm going to put that one in the center because I like that look of that where I tore it out of the binder. I like that look. All right, and we're going to put that in there, and I'm going to sew it in. Now, I'm going to sew it with my sewing machine. You could sew it with the stitch, your needle and thread if you want to. Doesn't matter. Pamphlet stitch you could use on here. Whichever one that you want, you can do that. But I'm just going to run my sewing machine down through there and sew them all at one time. But that was a real sweet little album to make. And then this will be inserted in our folio. And I will probably go ahead and make this one off camera to have it ready for tomorrow. Because, I mean, I'm going to make it basically the same way I did this one. It's just going to be upright. And then tomorrow we'll start on our folio and get our folio made and have all these inserts in it and all of that. So if you've got some old hanging file folders, just grab those out, start cutting them, get them ready to start making this folio with us. I think you're going to enjoy it. And we will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you enjoy videos like this. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.